It starts.
Here we are. I think things are working. Hopefully everything is sounding okay. And hello and welcome, Urban. I do have a doctor's appointment on this Wednesday, but my knees are definitely getting better. Sounds good and clean. Good. And my knees are getting better, but it is taking a while. But I know that knees can take a while from experience. Oh, hold on, let me see. Can I grab this thing over here? Can I grab this thing, or can I not? Okay. I was able to grab it. But I hope you are. Hope you're doing good, Urban. Hope you had a good weekend. Let's see here. Is this working? Yeah, it's also working. Have the hodgepodge of Gin Silver Fang decorations that I just had in the near vicinity here. I think I showed off this on a previous stream that I got from Japan, which was a bit more underwhelming than expected. It cost 20-30 euros or something with shipping. I thought it would be bigger and have actual pages. Still a neat collectible. But yeah. And here we have a commission thing that I got many years ago of Gin, of silver. It's some neat silver color on the there we go, on the collar that you can see there when you get it in the light. It's an artist's rendition and just an empty bag. What do you call it? A bag? Empty package, which would have contained Silver Fang stickers, but they don't. This is how the bags looked like, where you would get random Silver Fang stickers. Oh, and hello Digimon Love. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a good weekend. Are you a Silver Fang fan? And thank you so much for the raid, Rexam. Thank you. We just started here. I hope you enjoyed Happy Fox game, Tunic. Thank you. Did the It Starts work? I hope it worked. But yeah, I hope you are enjoying the game. Let me just catch up on chat, and hello and welcome to any raiders.
It starts.
Okay, it seems to be working. But yeah, welcome Yogi, Rexam.
It's the best cheese in the whole world.
And Kvik. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you've had good weekends. And are ready for the forthcoming week. That we're all psyched. All full of energy.
It's the best cheese in the whole world.
Ready to use our knees. For those that have functioning knees. Oh, and hello, Leofan. And TLP as well. I'm not ready for the upcoming week. Oh no. Okay, that's too bad. That is too bad. Any particular reason? Hopefully nothing to do with the knees. Been good, but not the easiest to figure out. Yeah, I believe that's a part of the gameplay, is my impression. Like, you have to collect pages and stuff. You have to figure out a lot of things within the game. But hopefully enjoying it. Let me scroll up and see if I missed anything. Without bubblegum, yeah, whether this came originally with bubblegum or not, I don't know. I will smell it. It doesn't smell like bubblegum. So maybe this just came with stickers and no bubblegum, but I cannot verify. This would have come with a bunch of stickers, but the graphics are cool. That's a good face, a good expression. My weekend has been mostly fine, though I had nasty headache yesterday. That is not good. Hopefully you have recovered. Hopefully I have something to help you deal with that, Urban, if it happens again. I like that drawing, yeah, that they used on this thing. Yeah, from the... yeah, this is from the manga. This drawing. Yeah, this is before the anime, actually. That is Manga Gin. Manga Fang. Okay, let me scroll down. Hopefully you'll figure out sooner how to heal yourself in Tunic. Ah, Tunic talk. Good, good. And fine now? Good, good. Good to hear. Good to hear. But yeah, we will have a little premiere here of a video, or pre-premiere rather. There might still be some changes to it. I'm still tweaking the audio. That's always tricky, and there is an in-between part where the title of the section is stated. I've yet to 100% decide on the music there, so you will hear slightly different music at a few different intervals for that part. But this is a video about Silverfang, as the title says below here, under here. Silverfang Trivia is the topic. So just neat stuff, hopefully, regarding the Silverfang anime and manga series, which hopefully everyone is familiar with. Hopefully everyone has seen it. Hopefully everyone has done their homework, done their studies. There will, of course, be spoilers, as I say in the video itself. So that's something to keep in mind. Though there aren't that many things I don't know. Like, it's not a super... Does Silverfang have many plot twists? I guess it does have some plot twists. But I don't go into too many of them, really. Too many. But I do highly recommend watching Silverfang if you have not. The video will hopefully be released tomorrow. That's the plan. That is my current plan, but my plan has been my initial plan was to release this, I think, late December last year. So there have been a few delays for various reasons. And I'm very open to feedback, to suggestions. Let me know if the audio is okay in the actual video. I can still tweak stuff. Making any major overhauls is not going to happen with the video, but I'm very open to small things. Like maybe you should, on this section, you should keep this picture for a second longer. Maybe you should decrease the audio level here and there. Yeah, let's see, anything else? Ideally, I would have had notes, but I don't have any notes. I do not have any notes. Those haven't, it's basically a show about how log beating can lead to some awesome fighter dogs. Yes, it's all about proper dog care. Oh, hello, General Ginger Cat. Hope you are doing well. Hope you've had a good weekend. And thank you for joining. I wanted to make Ginga shout McClunky. McClunky. Is that a reference? What is a McClunky? But any questions before we start? The video is about 17 minutes long is the current count on it, so 17 minutes. Feel free to comment in chat or ask any questions in chat as well. I will be following along. Ah, Star Wars edit reference. Okay, I see. Did McClunky shoot first? Yeah. But okay, let us start up the video. Oh, and thank you, Urban, for sending it to the Discord. Let us start up the video. Let me know if everything is working fine, or rather, let me know if things are not working fine. And we will see if this works. The volume might be a bit louder on the video than the normal stream volume, just keep that in mind. It should not be peaking, at least it didn't when I tested it previously, but might be a bit louder, so be warned. Okay, but here we go. Roll the tape already. No, never. Gotta keep talking. Let's see. Despite being by now 40 years old, with the original manga debuting in 1983, Silverfang is still going strong with an active fanbase and new spin-off releases. While still relatively obscure globally, the series still remains popular in Japan and the Nordic countries, especially Finland.
Oh my god, the sun is rising. Oh my god, the sun is
Hi, I'm Miles TF Baxter, and in this video I will go through some Silverfang trivia. Some more substantial than others, some more, well, trivial, but all of which are, at least in my opinion, kind of neat and fascinating. If you're interested in either Silverfang, animation, or the cultural impact of anime, there's probably something here for you. Be warned that there will be spoilers. And if you want a more general introduction to the show and its history, I would suggest watching my Silverfang Big in the North video. In addition to watching this one, of course. So prepare to be hopefully somewhat entertained as we go through some Silverfang trivia. Evidence seems to indicate that the title Silverfang was actually chosen to be the show's international title by Toei Animation itself, the Japanese studio that produced the anime, and not a title that was made up by, for example, the Nordic distributors. The main evidence we have seen for this is an ad from Japanese Yahoo auctions. The pictures from the ad show an informational flyer, describing the show in English. The flyer would have been used by Toei at industry conventions to advertise the show to potential international distributors. Unfortunately, the only pictures available of the leaflet are the ones from the auction ad, which have a low resolution and odd angles, and it's not known who won the auction. But at least we can make out the catchy tagline: Dramatic Adventures of a Bear-Hunting Dog and His Fellows. Excel Saga was a surreal comedy anime with a lot of references to other animes and mangas. A dog character seen in a couple of episodes is named Takahashi, and has a large scar on his forehead. With Silverfang being authored by Yoshihiro Takahashi, and its main character being a dog with large scars on his forehead, this seems to be a pretty clear reference. There's a Finnish rap song from 2019 called Jeese, and it borrows its underlying melody from the Silverfang anime score. The tune is a collaboration between 3 different rappers and was commercially released by KPC Records. As of this recording, the music video has close to 1 million views. This is another piece of evidence showing just how popular and influential the series has been in Finland, and I certainly wouldn't mind hearing more music sampling the amazing Silverfang score. And Silverfang has also left its mark on the Swedish music scene, as the Swedish rock band Takida took its name from the Silverfang character Gohei Takeda. In the Swedish dub, his name is pronounced Takida.
Farfar Takida!
Vad är det som har hänt med farfar Takida?
Vet du att farfar Takida tänker ta hand om honom?
Ja visst, jag måste berätta för farfar Takida.
Hej Takeda, han lever ju!
One of their early mini-album releases was even called Gohei. In an interview on the Danish pop culture nerd show Trollspejlet, which translates to Troll Mirror, animation director and writer Amalie Nesby Fick is asked if there are any specific animated films that have meant anything to her. And she mentions Silverfang, which she liked to such an extent that she would pretend to be the characters afterwards.
Kan du nævne nogle film, som har betydet noget for dig som tegnefilm?
Altså det, der betød rigtig meget for mig som barn, det var noget med, om jeg blev suget så meget ind i det, at jeg legede det bagefter. Og det gjorde jeg enormt meget med Silverfang. Jeg elskede bare jeg elskede at lege de der hunde. Altså der var også et eller andet med, at hundene var karaktererne, som man følte med og for i den her serie. Og sådan, jeg elskede at tegne dem, jeg elskede at være dem, jeg elskede at have figurer med dem.
As we all know, in the anime, Gin and his father Ricky finally defeat Akakabuto thanks to the Fang's sort of serious technique, known mostly as Batuga among fans, which admittedly comes out of nowhere. In the manga, Ricky's dying wish is for Gin to never use the technique again, as it may lead to the devils with evil fangs tracking him down. Which is kinda what happens, and Gin must deal with a pack of magical tornado-riding wolves in what's known as the Wolf Arc. It lasts for the final 5 volumes of the Silverfang manga, and it was not included in the anime. Personally, I think it was the right choice, as things get kinda crazy and very shonen. There's an English language Silverfang fan magazine simply called Silverfang Magazine. It started its publication in 2020, with a new issue published every 6 months. It's available to read and download for free online, or you can order physical copies through Blurb. Issues can feature original artwork, short stories, reviews, interviews, puzzles, coloring pages, and more. Anyone is free to submit content that they think might be appropriate for fellow Silverfang fans. As of this recording, the Danish Wikipedia entry on Silverfang states that the series actually aired on Danish TV. It states matter-of-factly, Silverfang was shown for the first time, presumably, on TV2 in 1989, but in a censored version so it was more kid-friendly. But the claim has no citations, and people are free to edit Wikipedia as they please. This led me to make a thread on the Ginga board forum, asking explicitly whether or not this was true. No one could confirm that it had ever aired, and they added that there had been persistent rumors of the series airing in other Nordic countries as well. A user on the Ginga board forum previously worked as a journalist in Sweden. In relation to doing a piece on Silverfang, he had actually done research into whether it had aired on Swedish TV, contacting the various television networks. None of them had any records of ever having aired the series. So he concluded, the persistent rumor that Silverfang was aired on TV in Sweden is most definitely false. And that seems to be the general consensus in the online Silverfang community. There's been no actual evidence of the series ever having aired on TV in any of the Nordic countries, and people making such claims are likely just misremembering. But to be a bit more charitable to those making such claims, it could also be that they're not exactly misremembering, but that they misunderstood what they were watching as kids. And kids misunderstanding something is certainly not unusual. Maybe when they first watched it on a VHS, they for some reason thought they were watching it on the TV channel. So their memory is, in a way, correct, but what they are correctly remembering is a factually incorrect belief. But regardless of whether they're misremembering or correctly remembering something that's wrong, the practical result is the same. Ginga-hörnan, which translates to Ginga Corner, has been a recurring event at the Swedish anime convention Närcon. I've tried reaching out to people who have either attended the event or helped organize it, wanting to get more information, but without much luck. But from what I've gathered, it has been an event where enthusiastic fans can meet up, with a doodling table and even a lottery. Something I started noticing when editing my first video on Silverfang is that whenever it changes from one shot to another, which means whenever they change the background, at the first and last frame you can see some visual artifacts. At the first frame of every new shot, you can see something like a white line at the top. And at the last frame of every shot, there's some black distortion at the bottom. It presumably has something to do with how old traditional animation was cut, spliced, or photographed. If you think you know exactly what is causing it, please feel free to leave a comment below. One thing I started noticing when looking at Silverfang fan art is that some artists draw Gin with a striped pattern in his fur, and some draw him without. This particular fur pattern is apparently called brindle, and is sometimes described as tiger striped. As we know, in the anime, Daisuke is thrilled when he sees that the family dog has given birth to a tiger-striped puppy, and Gin's fur appears to have this sort of a brindle pattern. But once Gin ages up, his stripes are nowhere to be seen. I initially thought it could be similar to lions and deer, which both have spots in their fur when they're young that mostly disappear as they grow older. But apparently canine brindle pattern fur isn't something that will disappear, but will stick with dogs into adulthood. So perhaps the stripes were simply removed to make the character easier to draw, the animators realizing how much extra work it is to animate a protagonist that has this kind of fur pattern. In the original manga, you can definitely see what appears to be a brindle pattern on a young puppy Gin. As in the anime, Daisuke does explicitly address the stripes, even using the word brindle in the English translation from Manga Planet. But as Gin ages, it's unclear whether the pattern is no longer there, or if it's just blending more into the pencil lines. It's certainly a lot less pronounced than when he was young. Regardless, it's up to fan artists to choose which interpretation of Gin they prefer, with stripes or without. The Finnish name for Silverfang is, as we all know, Hopeanuoli, which means silver arrow, but it's also the Finnish name for the Belgian cowboy comic Silverpile, which is Flemish for silver arrow, so we have two different properties sharing the same Finnish name. This becomes a bit of an inconvenience if you're ever looking for Silverfang items on Huuto, which is basically Finland's version of eBay, as you'll have to browse through a lot of ads of people selling their old cowboy comics. It sure ain't easy being a Silverfang collector. The Japanese logo for Silverfang, both the anime and manga, usually looks like this. For obvious reasons, that logo doesn't quite work outside of Japan. In the Nordic countries, there's never been a real logo consensus for Silverfang. No single logo design that was agreed on by the different distributors. But the closest we ever got to some sort of universal logo was this design, which has been used and reused on a number of Nordic Silverfang releases, including the Finnish translated manga. Gunnar Ernblad was one of the most prominent voice actors in Sweden. He did several voices for the Swedish Silverfang dub, like Ricky and Ben, and was also in charge of translating the script to Swedish. In an interview with Gunnar published in the first issue of Silverfang magazine, we learned why the original Nordic version ended up being less violent and more censored. It was apparently due to one of the Swedish voice actors. After having dubbed the first 2 volumes, the voice actor was not comfortable with all the violence. So they were considering leaving the production, not returning to work on the next 2 volumes. Gunnar explicitly states that this is why the ending is fairly abrupt in the dubbed version, and calls it a fake ending. Apparently the entire team was pretty surprised by the violence, as they had simply been told that it was just a cute little story about dogs. Then the Swedish cut was sent off to be dubbed to Danish, Norwegian and Finnish. So if it hadn't been for this incident, we might have gotten an overall less censored version and a less butchered ending. I will add that according to the interview, this incident seems to have happened after the first 2 volumes were already dubbed and completed. Which makes sense, as the first 2 volumes do overall seem less censored and feel more cohesive, with fewer abrupt cuts. But there are still scenes that have been censored, like the leg cutting scene. So it's not like the series would have been completely uncensored if the voice actor hadn't considered leaving. There were several other anime series that were dubbed and released in Sweden and the other Nordic countries around the same time, with less or no violence, that still had missing scenes and episodes. Like Cobra, Hello Sandybell, and Lady Lady. This is likely due to practical and financial reasons. It's more work dubbing more episodes, there are higher production costs in producing more tapes, and people might get scared away from watching a show that requires renting or buying too many volumes. It's an interesting interview and I highly recommend checking it out. It definitely has some cool Silverfang facts. This is arguably not trivia per se, but I thought it was fun and would make for an entertaining inclusion. Someone posted a picture of Gin to the main Norway subreddit, asking whether anyone watched the Norwegian dub of Silverfang when they were kids. And it got over 60 comments of people reminiscing and swooning, and over 150 upvotes. So I decided to do similar posts over in the Sweden subreddit and the Denmark subreddit. The post in Sweden subreddit got over 200 upvotes and close to 80 comments. But the one in Denmark subreddit blew them all out of the water, with almost 250 comments and almost 600 upvotes. Those are some big numbers. Here are a few sample comments from the posts, translated to English and sometimes abbreviated. OMG, I was terrified of Akakabuto my whole childhood. I was really young when I got it on VHS, and my father took it away from me as he thought it was a bit much. I eventually found it and snuck it with me to a friend. Got busted, but it was worth it. Balto, sure, I remember him. Amazing animation. It definitely left a mark on my Christmas with grandmother when she put it on. She had no idea what it was, she had just seen a VHS cartoon and thought, yes sir, this is what my grandkids will watch during Christmas. I thought the boy with the bow and arrow who trained himself up was the coolest. So 12-year-old me filled a plastic basket full of Donald Duck comics and started lifting it to get big and strong. After 10 lifts, I felt my muscles, and gosh, how big they'd gotten. Even to this day, I have nightmares about those fucking bears that were in that film I watched when I was 6 to 7 years old. I'm now 36. I feel my PTSD returning at full power. I remember running for our lives when going home through the woods, in case that scary bear would show up. 10 out of 10 series. If you want to check out more of the comments yourself, you will find the links in the description below. Are there any interesting Silverfang facts I missed? Any trivia you think should have been included? Feel free to leave your comments below. There are a few things that I did deliberately leave out, simply because the video project was starting to get too big and I wanted to move on with my life. So I might make a follow-up sometime in the future. As always, liking and subscribing is greatly appreciated. And there's also a Patreon if you want to show your support and get a few sporadic bonuses. I'm also streaming weekly over on Twitch these days, if you feel like dropping by over on that platform.
It's the best cheese in the whole world. It's the best cheese in the whole world. It's the best cheese in the whole world. It's the best.
Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you stay safe from Akakabuto.
Der gæstefyldte katten!
There we are. Clap, 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 that was the video. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see. Clap, 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 clap. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Clap, 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 clap.
Yeah!
Thank you, thank you.
Bulbasaur!
Yeah, so yeah, that was the video. I'm open for questions. I got all the good sounds. I will open up also the video file, like the timeline thing in Resolve, and we'll see whether or not that breaks my computer. Streaming at the same time as having the video editor up. We'll see what happens. But I will also open that. Yes. Rich Evans. Rich Evans has been there for a couple of weeks, I think, but for some reason has not happened. So hopefully you all enjoyed the video okay. Hopefully the audio was fine, but I'm open for tweaking it. I'm open for criticism and suggestions. Liked it, thank you. I have no initial criticisms, might need to rewatch it. Only thing I can see that if you got left with Overflow Trivia, there's always a sequel. Yep. Yeah, as I said in the video, needed to stop at some point. I think there are like at least 5+-ish. Oh, lag. Oh, there we go. Now it might be lagging. Okay, now I think it's calmed down. Okay, good. Yeah, I do have some leftover trivia bits for potential future video. Let me press some buttons here. I will press... Which button will I press? I will press... this button. Yeah, that's the button I will press. And here is the video timeline thing. Good thing it didn't lag during the video. Yes. Well, I was watching the video file as opposed to the video editor. But yeah, this is the whole timeline. I have a few things that I can mention. Trivia about the trivia video. that bears a comment in Reddit was gold. Which one? About nightmares about those effing bears. I'm now 36. That one. The stream didn't lag while you showed it. Yep. That is good. Yeah, some good comments, and there are a lot of Reddit comments that I did leave out, which could have been fun to include, but again, had to stop at some point. I believe one comment mentions that now you can buy the show on DVD to get the uncensored version, to get the full version, and then someone responds to that oh no, that is not the real version. The real version is when Rick is suddenly lying bleeding to death on the ground without ever having been struck by Akakabuto. And then someone else responds to that again and says, as a kid, I thought that his wounds had opened up and he started just spontaneously bleeding. So you have some fun stuff like that. Some interesting comments on the Reddits. Okay. Just look at my list here. Oh yeah, and one thing I'm very curious about is if the jam at the end, if that sounded okay, if that worked or not, if it's too sudden. Let's see here, where do I have the jam? Do I have it on the outroduction? No, I probably just have it on the Uber timeline here. Yeah, this thing. I'm playing the Volca. And so I wanted to try to do some original... I was playing around with doing some original end credits type music, which I like to do for my videos when I'm able to. And I got this idea like super late last night and used 2 or 3 hours to make it. The only thing about the jam was that I thought our chat was inside video, but then I realized those were our current comments. Oh. Okay, you mean the clip from the thing? Okay. Yeah. The clip from the thing. So it's hopefully a good clip. Very representative of the stream. So hopefully this part worked okay. And I figured it could be, since I do mention in the video, wanting more video sampling Silverfang music. Figured it would be fun trying to do the same for it. How did you go to the music part? You mean the inspiration? Or how I made it? Or what exactly? And I don't dare to press play right here because this footage was done in 4K, so that's even more resource intensive if I try to play this section. It's maybe a mistake to record it in 4K rather than normal full HD. How did you go to the music part in the video itself? How in this timeline I'm at? Sorry, I'm not quite understanding, I'm afraid. But this is the overall timeline that we're looking at for the video. That's why pros use proxy files that are lower to edit 4K videos. Yeah, maybe I should start looking into stuff like that. Using proxy files, having a cache. Did you fade to black at the end of the song? No, you have this section here, which is just made for YouTube cards at the end, where people will see recommended videos, that type of stuff. Oh yeah, and then we have this section here. We go from this, and then you have this for a couple of sections, which is to try to make it. Did you fade to black? And then to the song. Ah, okay, yeah. So then we go here, and then it starts here. So it is a bit jarring, but hopefully that transition works okay. But I'm open to suggestions. And speaking of music, you of course have the section, let's see here. I might have it already here. Yeah, here we have it. Let's see if I'm able to... Can I play this? Oh, no, I did not mean to. And that's always annoying when you have these very tiny sections here and you're clicking around and you easily press on the wrong one. Fade it in, maybe? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I was also considering a crossfade, but I think that might be even more jarring between the normal section here. Introduction, let's see, is this, yeah. So this is where I was, there we are, doing stuff. Okay, let's see if the audio here works. Okay, the audio there is working. Might as well turn it up there.
Oh my god, the sun is Victor rising. Oh my god.
So that is from the party, as was mentioned in chat, party footage from the birthday party. I believe it was the furry party that Rexham attended. And I made this music that I'm playing over it. This music is not from the actual party. This was self-composed. Let's see if I can turn off the reverb effect and you can hear it better. There we go.
Oh my god, the sun is Victor rising. Oh my god. Oh my god, the sun is Victor rising. Oh my god.
Hi. I didn't want to use the actual music from the party because that is can lead to some copyright issues. So I wanted to use some royalty-free music. I considered trying to just use something from the YouTube audio library, but also thought it would be fun just trying to make something myself and also inserting a meme thing from the party into it for the heck of it. Very inside joke meme, the line that's being sung there or spoken. Of course, that took more time rather than just using something that's pre-made. And yeah, a lot of these types of things that made the video take a lot more time to put together. Yeah, memos from the party, it's fine there, as I said, fooled me, yeah. And that is something that is very cool that I found out, which I haven't played much with in Resolve. Let's see if I do this. Will that show on screen? No, it will not. Okay, that's too bad. The pop-up window did not show on the stream screen. But yeah, you have a lot of settings here for the reverb. And in the pop-up window, you also have a sort of a 3D outline of a room, and you can set the size of the room and stuff like that. So you can try to emulate the reverb given the size of the room that you want to emulate. So that's a neat feature. I'm not super good at playing around with reverb, but it was pretty easy to use and a nice way to make it sound like, help make it sound like the audio is actually playing at the location rather than it being very obvious that it's just audio that's overlaid. Someone got startled in the hot tub when they realized the sun was rising and they'd been there all night, which resulted in a video where they went, "Oh my god, the sun is Victor rising." And it was the funniest thing. Everybody kept saying it throughout the party. Yeah, that that is how it goes, how these things work. Of course, not as funny for people not part of it, but I figured it would be fun to make a nod to it in the actual video that like a couple of handful of people would get if they actually pay attention to what's being spoken. I do have the, and I'm trying to decide whether or not to include this at the end credits here. Let's see here, where I... Can I go back? There we go. For a list, the song titles. The Sun is Bitter Rising you have there, but a bit unsure whether or not to include it. Since normally I would have information about a single song and then who made it, but I made all of these. And it would be a bit much to say that, you know, putting my my name miles next to all of them. And people might be curious who made them if I don't do that, though. So I don't know. Yeah, sounds like a good party, yeah. So, Futago Jam. I was trying to find out, where does Silver Fang, the anime, take place? Anime and manga? Futago, is that just the mountains where Akakabuto live, or is Futago the whole area? What is the actual place called? Which I tried to find out. But I guess I can just leave it at Futago Jam regardless. But I wanted it to be the name of the town, of the place where they live, not necessarily Akakabuto's lair. Yeah, I tried to find it out in a couple of wikis. Sun is Bitter Rising is of course the tune that we just played, and then we have Gin Between, which is, I have two versions of it. And this is something that I'm trying to decide on. I think I might have decided, but the in-between music. Yeah, the music for these parts. Your video window makes me sweat, okay. How so? Is it too daunting? Does it have too much? Or is it so disorganized? Or is it just seeing it within a tiny window on Twitch? I usually zoom out and then zoom in. Okay, as opposed to doing like this, you mean? As opposed to doing this? But let's see, here we have in between music. So made to be fairly, you know, neutral. And this is another version of it, I think. Yeah. And then we have something I did not compose. This is from the video game Dog Island. So I'm kind of trying to decide which I should use. Using what I composed myself might be best. I like that jam, but that one beat left stereo clap drives me nuts. Oh, you mean on the Dog Island thing, on the last thing I played? Is that even Vegas? No, this is DaVinci Resolve that I'm using. Also love using sequences. Not sure if Vegas has them. Yeah, I'm not sure what sequences are, per se. Keep them all. That's also possible, but I do kind of like to maybe keep this consistent all through. I also have, but I don't think I'll be using those. Let's see here. I think towards the very start here. And sorry if this isn't too exciting for people. Let's see. Here, maybe? Is that... Yeah. So that was the first one I tried, classical music, which I think also works okay, but I feel that would work even more if Gin was having a fancy tea party or something similar, as opposed to being a teacher type person, a professor type person. Oh, Uvu tries Twanswaiter suddenly kicked in. In Premiere, okay, let me just read what Uvu Twanswaiter said. So you don't need to Tuvu stack dozens of videos in the Masto Twack. Okay, good. Sequences are good. In Premiere, a sequence can contain a video project in itself, so you don't need to stack dozens of videos in the master track. It's kind of like grouping one complicated part into a single thing. Yeah. So rather than one big jumble mess, you can have you have a neat main video file with a bunch of smaller groups that can tweak separately. But a cheap image of T on that. Put a cheap image of T on that paw for one title. Yeah. But I do have something similar. First of all, I have multiple timelines. That is one thing that I do have. Let's see, which timeline did I want to go to? I wanted to go to on TV. I think maybe on TV. I swear I wanted to go. So I have, this is a separate timeline, and in theory I have, let's see. I also have each timeline and also saved as a clip here, so you can, in theory, make a timeline and then put a timeline onto the timeline. You can do that, but one issue that I was unable to find the solution for, if you do that, is changing the audio, because that's sort of the last thing I do, tweaking the audio, putting things in and out. And each timeline would have a different audio setting on a track, like you have the audio tracks here, or they're also on the side here, and I can add EQ, I can add compression, etc. to them, and then that will be saved on that track in that timeline. But if I want to then use that for other tracks in other timelines, I will have to, as far as I know, I'll have to save it as a preset and then add it as a preset to the different tracks on the other timelines. And then if I do changes to the audio, that will not carry over, then I'll have to do it all again manually. I'll have to then resave that preset and then re-add it to all the tracks in all the timelines. As opposed to it being a shared node, which I know you can do with coloring. You can have a shared node, I believe, which will or should carry across timelines. And it does also have, which I do use some, I could maybe use it more, composite clips. I can show off this. This is a composite clip. This is one of the most... This one took a while to make. I'm also pretty proud of how this one turned out. I also have it over here. Let's see, this one is larger. This is a composite clip. Let's see, you can zoom in. Can we zoom in? Maybe we can't. There we go. So this is a clip with multiple clips in it. Render in place. Wait. Is it that? Is it render in place? Let's see. I thought it was decompose in place. Or is it because I made it larger maybe? Let's see. Can I just render in place? Because it should be able to decompose in place. Let's see if can I find you in maybe in clip art? Let's see, are you that? Your compound clip 3, which are you? You are compound clip 3, okay. Okay, this one I can decompose in place, okay. I guess I did some editing to it that makes it impossible to decompose it. Oh, let me get the background on here as well. Decompose in place using clips only, yeah, and then it opens up.
Ice cream.
Ice cream indeed. Oh, and hello, Dark Wolf, hello, welcome. we're looking at the video editing timeline for the video that we premiered about Silverfang. So very exciting stuff. I hope you're doing well, and thank you for stopping by. Oh, and hello, Emphy as well. I hope you're also doing well. Hope you had a good weekend and a good everything. That's why I usually prefer not to tweak too much while I do paid projects too many times and just fiddle the master track. It's warm, yeah, it's warm here as well, unfortunately. Let's see, is this? Yeah, this is also a compound clip, so I have a compound in a compound clip. And this consists of 2 TVs. This is a thing. Let's see here. Can I find you in media pool? Okay, you are there. Yeah, so this is how this TV clip art thing would normally look like. As you can see, it's a widescreen. I'm pretty sure someone has manipulated this image to become widescreen, because these types of TVs, I don't think you could get. You can get CRT TVs in widescreen, but this one looks like an older model. It looks like with these types of knobs and stuff on the side. But yeah, I needed a non-widescreen, whatever you call it, a 4x3 type screen for this particular shot, where I wanted to have the video inside the thing, because Silverfang is in 4x3 format. It's not in widescreen. So I had to then make this clip art, this widescreen TV, I had to make it artificially into non-widescreen, make it back to the original format. And that took a little while, not super long, but did take a little while. And then I added some scan lines and some blurring on the actual video to make it seem a bit more VHS-like. Let's see, I can turn off the scan line. So did I not add blurring? Maybe I didn't. Oh, I think I... Or did I not? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, it does have it just further down here. Yes, I can turn off the scan lines. It's fairly subtle. Unless you zoom in, then you can see it better. And then with the blur, because I thought it looked a bit too sharp without it. So that shot took me a little while, trying to find the TV clip art asset. Oh, is it lagging? Is it lagging? It's trying to render. Let's see. If it is working. It's starting to try to render timeline here on the side. We are live, okay. But it is lagging, or is it only my OBS that's lagging? It's not actually the audio, the stream out, because I'm getting... Okay, now it's normalizing a bit. Numbers were red and angry. Now they are orange and complacent. Not seeing any lag. Weird, because my OBS says that it's missing frames due to rendering lag and stuff. But okay, good. Good. But pretty happy with how that shot turned out. And I'm also very happy with this. This shot. This VHS tape. This is my own VHS tape that I photographed and green screened. It did get a bit of glare, it was hard to avoid. It also took me a while to try to make it look the least green screeny as possible. And yeah, that took a little while doing that shot. And just an example of a lot of work, a lot of minor work that you do for just a few seconds here and there, like trying to find a TV clip art that you can use and then trying to turn it into 4:3 rather than widescreen. A lot of things like that people don't realize how much time it takes, and maybe one shouldn't do it due to that. Oh, thank you for the tea redeem. I will have some tea. Let's see. If I press this, will this... Yeah, okay. Yeah, it will. Okay. It will be over. Nice. So, another one of the videos that ended up taking a lot more time than intended and anticipated. And there's so many... Like, asset hunting is one of the things that take the most time. Really? Or that you can't really... You don't think too much about it until you are there. Let's see, is it logo? No, it was in... Title. Let's see, where's title? There we go, there is title. This logo was easy to find, toy animation. But these logos were not easy to find, especially the Abe Vendros logo. So I had to find like a screen cap from an opening credit and then take that and then green screen it out and try to make it look good. The same for the Egmont one, I think. The Scanbox one, I think I had to sort of do the same for all of these. Or like screen cap from opening credit stuff and then trying to green screen it as well as possible. Or chroma key it or whatever the term is. So a lot of asset hunting and manipulation that end up eating time. Oh, and asking, where is that? Asking permission from the fan artists, that also took a while for these ones. Since I contacted the artist individually and asked them if it would be okay using their art. It both took a while finding art pieces, appropriate art pieces where you can clearly see that Gin does or does not have the brindle pattern thing. And then finding out how to contact the artist and then waiting to hear back from them. So that took a while. But many thanks to the artists who did say yes. Let's see. Oh yeah, and where is censorship? There we go. We have this twinkle sound. Let's see. I think it is here. Yeah. Like the leg cutting scene. Oh yeah, this is before I added background music. I think that that ding sound cost me $25. I got it in a sound effects pack. It does have, I think it had like 400 sound effects or something, so it was a pretty okay deal. A lot of miscellaneous things. I do very rarely use sound effects for anything I work on, but it's nice to have the option. And I felt this needed a decent thing. Let's see, anything else to mention? I am very curious if people will respond to my question here, what exactly these artifacts are, what these visual distortions are. Can we get a clear answer? Can we find out exactly what's going on? Or will we just have some guesses? This video needs more Hanna-Barbera sound effects. They should make a Hanna-Barbera cut of Silverfang, adding a lot of Hanna-Barbera sound effects. We talked about it, and as you said, I still guess it is the cuts. It probably is, but I don't fully understand. You know, what's happening? What is happening? Like, I know they cut and stitch, glue, tape stuff together, and I'm pretty sure it has something to do with that process, but what part of it? What part of the process? Can't they do better cuts? Can't they do cleaner cuts? And I'm also guessing on a CRT TV and old TV you would not see those. I believe they have a bit of a cutout at all the edges from what I remember. So you would probably not see it. It would probably be invisible. Splice. Now when the cuts came, original master or remaster cuts, hard to say. Craft likely, yeah, splice. Yeah, so can be splicing, but what happens when they splice? Do they glue stuff together? Do they tape stuff together? How would that create these marks? Or do they burn them together? Because like the black stuff at the bottom looks almost like burn marks. Do they forge? Do they forge the clips together with fire in their splicing smithy? Splicing smiths. Time for me to disappear again into my comfy bed. Yeah, you have a good night. Good night, Rexham, and thank you very much for the raid and for the company and for all the feedback previously on the video. And I hope you have a good night in your own bed. Mwah. Good night, Hyvä ötä. To literally glue them? I guess sometimes tape. Have a good time playing Zelda. Need to see if I can find if I can find some sort of videos showing how they did the splicing in the olden days, or for anime, so that you can clearly see what part of the process leads to this, so that I can fully comprehend the process. And what is that link? Oh, thank you. Okay, I will give it a look later. Let's see, anything else? It is too bad that my conversation with Norwegian voice actor, translator, producer Harald Mæhle didn't really generate any good trivia, but I could always try calling him again to see if he has anything more to say, if he maybe remembers more now. Now do you remember? How about now? Maybe if I could entice him with something, maybe that would jog his memory. Because my main question is, of course, why Volume 2, 3, and 4 of the Norwegian Silverfang dub has a different voice cast from the first volume. That's fairly rare that happens within the same series of tape. It wouldn't be easy to understand if all the 4 volumes were dubbed by 2 different teams and were released on separate labels. That would make sense, but they were all released by the same label as far as I know. So I'm very curious what happened. I should try contacting more people. Find more folks' phone numbers. Show him this video and he'll spill the beans, yeah. You can have some brunost if you tell me how it was like directing Akira, yeah. I wonder who Harald Mæhle voices in the Norwegian Akira dub. Who does he voice? And you've done an amazing job on the video, hun. Thank you. Thank you, Rexham. You're probably gone now, but thank you. Let's see. Anything else? Anything else? We'll probably be ending it very soon unless I think of anything more to ramble on about, and unless there are any questions. Did seem like a very weird decision from whoever is in charge of comic books and IPs over in Finland to call Silverfang use the same title as was used on some cowboy comics. You would think that would create marketplace confusion, which you don't want. So that is a point of criticism for Finland. Let's see, introduction. Do I have anything to say about the introduction? I don't think I do. If I don't, then we will see if we can find someone to raid. It took me a while to decide on what asset to use here. In the end, I decided on this. So now you know. It is always tricky deciding what asset to use, because I'm just talking generally about Silverfang being, you know, big in Japan and the Nordic countries. I was considering if I should like try to find some sort of map and highlight Japan and the Nordic countries. That would have been more work, since they would just have a spinning gin, then eventually fade to Finnish flag and party footage. It is kind of odd, but could also be a case of not knowing one another. The one would think there is a register for these things, even back then, yeah. And I haven't talked to anyone. Like, I could try to track down the people who dubbed the first volume, see if I could talk to a couple of those and see if they know. Harald Mæhle didn't remember and suggested that the people who would know would be the distributors, those types of people, rather than the dubbers. But yeah, you never know. And I do like to imagine that maybe there was some sort of incident. Maybe the first team had dubbed all 4 volumes, but then they lost the recordings for the 3 final ones, or vice versa. They lost the recording for the first volume, and they had to get another team for that. That's not impossible. There are a bunch of crazy things that have happened in the world of dubbing. It's not super likely. But it could happen. And that is when I might as well briefly mention that the movie idea I had, which will never happen, unfortunately, but a movie about dubbing anime, more or less dubbing Silverfang, but not exactly Silverfang. It would be fictionalized and include a lot of events that have happened and have not happened from other animes. Like I listened to a podcast with Harald Mæhle, the Norwegian voice dubber that I've been talking about. Talking about things being pretty crazy back in the day, in those dubbing days, and working for maybe 2 days straight or something, and they had to stop dubbing when they started seeing double, and him calling up a voice actor in the middle of the night to get a second take or something. There's a lot of weird, fun stuff like that. And I bet it could be a pretty fun, niche movie. To sort of have it be about a fictional anime that gets dubbed to some language. And everything, like all of that, all of the process behind that. I once read about Finnish film productions, and one time a trainee lost master tapes to a garbage dump in a plastic bag, which led the trainee digging through that said dump during a night until by sheer luck he found them. Yeah, so things like that have happened. Parts of a film getting lost. Things getting jumbled up. Losing the audio. I know there was some sort of film that was released. It was probably happened with more films, but they discovered some sort of B film, B movie, but it didn't have the audio, or the audio had gotten damaged or something like that. So they had to redo all the audio before releasing it, and it had never been released before. I don't quite know how they figured out the dialogue. I don't think they had a script. I think they maybe had to do some guesses and read the mouths of the actors. Stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think I have anything more to ramble on right now. So let us close DaVinci Resolve. What movie was that again? I don't remember. I think it was a film that was featured in Red Letter Media not super long ago. I have to see if I can find it later on. But yeah, let us see if we can find someone to raid. Give them a little raid. Lion King tomorrow? Yes, that is the plan. There will hopefully be Lion King tomorrow. So hope to see you all then, if you feel like stopping by. It's always appreciated. Let's see who is online. No one is online. There are a few people online. No work gig to pester this time, so certainly nice. Can just fully devote yourself to watching Lion King on the V-Smile. Let's see here. I'm also open to rating suggestions. I do have maybe this one. Maybe this one. And the video will hopefully be released tomorrow. Hopefully. That's the plan. Okay, let's see. Either this one or... Yeah, and then we can talk more tomorrow about Games Done Quick and see if people have any questions about the video at that point. Any more questions? And we can talk about the week that is to come and all the things. Okay, let's give this dragon artist a raid, why don't we? Let's see. Malcolm the Tea Dragon, nice, I like tea. I like tea. I do like tea. Doing some art and drinking some tea. So you can go over there and say howdy ho. And thank you for the tea redeem. Hopefully next Sunday your knees are less of a pain then. Hopefully. Hopefully we will see. They are, yeah, they are affecting things, including affecting the stream. Since I can't move about so easily, and it does also affect my mood. Unfortunately, and my energy level, it affects everything. Makes me want to chill and watch yaoi. I need to watch more yaoi. Will Senpai finally touch his shoulder? That's the question. How close is that video project? The Silver Fang? The Silver Fang video, you mean? Or... did you want to ask about Senpai? Or... the hospital? Okay. Okay, the video project, that thing. For the clinic thingy. Yeah, that will be on Thursday, so I gotta prepare for that. Yeah, and I have a doctor's appointment on Wednesday, and then on Thursday I have kind of a doctor's appointment, I guess, when I will be doing some filming for another doctor for his clinic. So hopefully that will turn out okay. Gotta prepare for that. Gotta remember to press record. Do all the important things. Let's see. Yeah, it is working. Hooray! We are go. The yaoi thing, do they always glitter when they talk sensitively? It is a thing. Pretty much, I think. They make a lot of suggestive sounds and gasps. It's a good time. I can recommend. You should start a yaoi watching club. It's Lion King tomorrow. On the V-Smile, speedrunning 20:30-ish Norway time, probably a bit later as per normal. I blame my niece. And video premiere tomorrow as well, hopefully on the YouTube. I'll be spamming about that when it happens. Let's see, where's the button? There's a button. Okay. Yes, have a good night everyone, and thank you for the company. Much appreciated. Bye bye.